Hey, marketing assistants, what do you need to know about TikTok in order to help your clients grow on the platform? Well, I have the TikTok teacher herself here, Helen Polise. Hey, I'm Emily Reagan, and I train virtual assistants to be highly paid, highly prized marketing assistants. The reason I love marketing is it gives you the most flexibility as a freelancer. It's not always a burning fire, have to be chained to certain office hours type of job. Marketing lends itself to working ahead in different projects. This is the same work I've done as a stay-at-home mom of four and a military spouse who keeps moving. I've been able to PCS with my clients and make and contribute money to my family budget with all the extra work. I've never had an issue finding enough clients. And the good news is the way the online economy is going, you are never going to lack for clients if you learn these skills. So today I have Helen Polise here in-house to talk about the top TikTok strategies, what's working, what not to do. And just know that we dive into more on my episode of Unicorns Unite. The full length episode will be over there. I'll link to that in the show notes below. And also Helen is sharing so many good resources for us, including a TikTok course, a starter course. She also hosts tons of workshops where she goes further into detail about different strategies. And you can also check out her TikTok because you learn by watching her. She has a ton of tutorials as well. There's so much to learn about TikTok, but before we jump in, make sure you're part of my free Facebook group where you can network with other sister service providers. Get my best tips and tricks for scaling, charging more inside your freelance business. And also, we share clients who are looking to hire their next teammate. So if you need access to job leads, we have some jobs over there as well. And if this marketing services world is new to you, if you have been an admin VA and you're looking for marketing services you can add, make sure you grab my freebie. It's my top 10 marketing tasks that I started with when I started freelancing. I leaned heavy into marketing and PR skills I already had, was able to grow from there from $10 an hour to $100 an hour plus doing, project work and whatnot. Here's what you need to know about me. I am a practitioner. I still do the client work. I also do some coaching. So if you are a freelance marketer or marketing assistant, make sure you apply for our digital marketers work group. This is our community where we share even more job leads and we give you advanced trainings to help you really level up and become the premium service provider, the one who isn't maxed out at max capacity, who's charging really good rates and working for the best clients. You can apply now, and then we'll let you know next time we do an open enrollment. Okay, let's jump into all things TikTok with the mothership herself, Helen Polise. I'm 43. A lot of my audience is upper 30s, 40s, 50s, starting something new, turning their skills into a freelance business. And it's very intimidating
So
to
scary.
get on Instagram, get on TikTok and see 20 somethings
It's so
doing the
tough.
same shit we do,
It
looking
is.
cute. I mean, like it messes with our minds. So can you
Yeah.
give us like a pep talk about that?
Yeah. The pep talk is you got to just put blinders on and go and have fun because there's people who need you and they will find you. You think people are going to judge you or look at your your lines and wrinkles or your double chin. I don't think people see us the way we see ourselves. And I think we've got to let that go.
How do we know which clients to help and which ones to be like, sorry, sister, like this might not be
Mm.
for you?
Some people just don't have the knack because they don't have the interest. And if you really have to
Mm.
have the interest to want to be good at it in order to keep up with it, just like anything, if you don't want to learn it, it's a chore. And then it becomes a chore that you can't keep up with. What I try to do with with my weekly newsletter, I send out trend alerts on content ideas, and then I do a strategy session and I go deep into a strategy. So the purpose of that is to save the headache of, I can't think of what to post. Why is this so hard? I don't have any ideas. I don't want to be on camera.
You have a
I
free
am.
TikTok course
I
right now
do.
too. Tell
I have a
everyone
free
about that.
I do. If you want to learn TikTok and you want to, and you're so intimidated, I have a course that teaches you from the beginning, step by step, what every button does. And everything is free on the website. So I
Yeah.
have beginner TikTok. You go to hellosocialize.com, you click learn, you can pick tutorials, courses, workshops, and they're all free.
Do you have any tips for how a marketing assistant could plug herself into this process with a client?
So, because
Mhm.
there's a couple of things. I have a friend of mine, I just connected her with a dermatologist actually, and she's doing his social media. So, there are opportunities where you can do social media for someone else by working it into your kit that you're offering. So, it really depends on what your clients need and what you want to make time to offer. So, I tried to explain to this person, for example, that she could spend 2 days a month working on his videos, 1 day of shooting and 1 day of editing. She could really bank 3 months worth of content in 2 days of work. But you have to be an organized person and a planner to be able to do that efficiently.
Well, and I know
So,
one thing that's helped me get better is just by playing on the platform, paying attention to what catches my eye
yes,
and what makes
save the
me
videos that
stop.
catch your eye. Save the videos that catch your eye and put them in folders because those
Okay.
things are so helpful. You know that you can make a little collection in your TikTok. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know that, but you make the collection and say, videos to watch or videos to do because a lot of times I'll see a trend or something and I'm like, well, I'll do this, maybe I'll do this next week and I forget about it. So put it in a folder and then I'll remember to do it. So that's key.
So I'm curious if you could tell me what other things, like what would be some rookie mistakes? So you were referring to what I
Oh,
hear
I can
called
give you a big list.
the millennial pause, right? When people don't start their video right away and
Hello.
they're like, hey guys, it's Thursday. And so you're saying like chop all of that
Chop it
off.
off. And if people feel that they need to say that to get in the zone, say it, but then edit it off. So, number one, cut off your beginnings. Number two, giant pauses in between. There's nothing worse than people who chop off the ends of their words. And then that brings me to the microphone thing, which we were talking about just before we started here with our microphones. A microphone really helps your content and it's changes the game and you don't know why it's different. You don't know why it's different, but there's something that's not great about it. You'll know that because when you get to a video that has good audio, it's like, oh, that person's voice is so nice. Well, maybe just because they have a microphone. Also, where have lighting. So right now I have windows over here facing my face. You always want to have, you don't want to have a window behind you. Simple things like that. Big thing is when you're doing transitions, this is such a rookie mistake I see where they want to do like jump and be in another outfit and their whole room moves. So using a tripod and locking your phone for doing transition things, that's a rookie mistake I see all the time. Voiceovers that you can't hear, putting the music too loud. They think that 15% is low, but on TikTok, 7% or less is what you need
Oh,
usually.
okay. What do you see working on TikTok right now? And I know like we're recording this after the whole Risa Tisa phenomenon and the
That was
video
big.
series. I feel like it's just it's a different vibe from
Yeah.
Instagram. And so can you talk about that a little bit too?
Okay, so I did a whole episode on Risa Tisa and what I thought about that and how interesting I thought that was. And so, because I've always said from the beginning of being on the apps that storytelling is always the key. It's always the winner, no matter what. If you hear people that are always going right at the end of every sentence, right? And then you start to focus on right. And when they're doing that, right? Who listening? I've lost it already. I've counted 4 rights. I'm out. Same thing with. So people who do a
Mhm.
lot of filler words are not going to hold an audience. Also, there has to be a compelling story.
What advice would you have for somebody starting brand new right now? Like, okay, it's not too late for us. There's growth. How should we start?
First of all, here's your inspiration to start. I do think TikTok is showing new creators to the For You page because I notice every third video, I have a person with zero follow or like very low amount of followers. So the
Oh,
opportunity right now, if you can catch people's attention as a small creator, is big. People always ask me, how can I skip the mistakes? And the mistakes are turning on your phone and staring, and then you think it's a still frame, and then they start talking. What are you doing? Edit it off. Learn how to trim your videos so you engage your audience.
does trending audio matter right now?
I don't think it's as important as it was before.
Okay.
So I think what people are gun shy about using audio thanks to UMG muting thousands and thousands and thousands of videos. I don't think it's as important because I think a lot of creators are struggling with they're gun shy from what happened. And they also are afraid that it's still going to get muted because you'll notice that you might even do a trend and then 2 weeks later that trend audio got muted.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
big tip. Like don't do the underlying music there. Okay, I have a couple questions I got from some of my marketing assistants.
Okay, go
Does
for it.
captions matter and do hashtags even matter?
I don't think hashtags are a big deal anymore. I use them
Yeah.
personally because I think it can't hurt. My theory on them is that it will help you find your audience. So my theory on using hashtags is I always put for me TikTok tutorials, TikTok teacher, and then whatever the video is about. Transition tutorial, whatever, just because I think maybe I'll find the right audience that's looking for that. So maybe it's
Okay.
searchable. I love a caption because I do think there's readers out there. There are people who love to read the captions.
What
No.
about the optimal length?
So there's no optimal length, but it's the length that you need to tell your story, show
Okay.
your thing in a most concise way. Because I do think we still need to be concise to keep our audience interested.
Is there a good mix or formula for being funny versus informative? You know, there's a lot of education
Mm,
talking head reels. Have you seen anything that works?
this is a really good advice that anybody can take.
Okay.
Whatever you want to be known for the most on your page, make sure at least every third or fourth video is that. And this is why. when someone finds me from a viral video and they start going through my videos to see what I'm about, I don't want them to have to scroll 10 videos to find another tutorial, because maybe they
Mm.
landed there because of a viral tutorial. So don't want them to have to search for a day to get to another tutorial. I want them to,
Yeah.
every 3 videos, you can see there's a pattern. Every 3 or 4 videos, I have a tutorial there. So if you're a business that you want to be known for something, but you want to do in between content, super great to do that, because you never know which one's going to hit. But make sure that your core content is not buried down so low. Make sure it's like every 3 or 4 videos, you have something that's related to your core content. That's a piece of advice that anybody can take.
So do you do cover photos? Do you do that for all
I
of your
do.
videos? What is
No,
your best tip for that?
this is what I do. Cover thumbnails only for my tutorials. So now a person can quickly look at my page and know, oh, those are the ones I'm going to learn something. And those are the ones that are just for fun. I don't think you have to label the things unless you want people to know what they're about. And so it's
Yeah.
personal preference. You can label
Yeah.
them all, but maybe label them by category.
When do we monetize?
It's a little bit of smoke and mirrors when you see people that are saying, oh, I'm making all this money every month. Because what are they doing to make that money? They're selling you a course to tell you how to make money. They're not really making money because their course is making money, not them. Most people are making money because they are figuring out the brand deals, and they are usually, sorry to say, younger people, because brands, I can think of a friend who has 20,000 followers getting brand deals, getting paid, whether it's close to 800,000, whatever, for a video. Meanwhile, I have 1 million followers. I can't get one brand to give me a deal that pays me even close to that because of my age and because of my demographic and who I'm representing, I think. So monetizing is really, how are you going to be creative to monetize your own business?
What else do you wish people knew about TikTok?
That it's not a scary place where people are going to steal your data and hack into your phone.
Yeah. And then like how are you adding Instagram and TikTok together? Like what is your strategy with that?
Oh, good question. So I always say that you want to lean into the thing that you love the most and send it out to the other places. You want to lean into the one that you love, but create your content so that it can be farmed out to all the channels, because you never know when it's going to hit. Sometimes my videos that don't really hit on TikTok and I randomly throw it on Instagram and, oh my gosh, look at that one. That's got like 20,000 views. And I never expected that one to be embraced. So it's
Yeah.
a good idea to create your content with your regular phone, not doing them all in TikTok or doing them all on Instagram, because then you won't have your originals. Create your content, edit your videos, then post it to your favorite first, and then put it out to all the channels.
Where are you editing these videos? This is my last
Da, da,
question.
da, da. Right in my
On
phone.
your phone or using
CapCut.
CapCut or something else?
CapCut.
Okay.
Yeah. If I start editing on my computer, it's going to feel like work. It's going to feel like a
Yeah.
work project, and that I don't want to do that to myself. This is supposed to be my fun thing. It also, when I even edit my work projects, dare I even admit this, but for some of the Olay TikTok, I do them on my phone. I don't even,
Yeah.
because that's quicker and it's how people are going to view it. So I want to see it, how people are going to view it.
Helen, this was so much fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
So
I
ex
loved it.
yes.
You're
I'm like
fun.
so flattered that you said yes. Helen is such an inspiration. I'm so glad you got to meet her today. Don't forget that we have a full episode over on Unicorns Unite. That full episode is below. You can also find a bunch of freebies, the application to the work group, and then hit subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss another episode. I love to share bite-sized information about how to grow your business, how to level up, how to position yourself as an expert, how to do your marketing assets, and how to get better with your marketing services. Because I know the key to standing out is being the unicorn, and only you can be your own unicorn, finding that sweet spot of services, what you're passionate about, and being marketable with services that clients actually want to hire. So make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.